We've just done an announcement around some great research we've done into the market. Now, I want to position it by saying it's about productivity. Now, there's two aspects to this. One is that productivity is a very important thing for any nation, about competitiveness and about our global position, and also very important for organisations. And as a technology company like Telstra, we play a critical role. Obviously, technology is about driving productivity improvement. But when I'm talking to customers, it's very hard to get real data. So over the last 18 months, we've been looking at how to get some concrete data around what the perceptions are of enterprises around productivity improvement. Now, when we started this research, we thought that we'd look at it from an economic modelling. But when you get into the economics, it's very difficult to get data. So what we've just done, it's called the Telstra Productivity Indicator, and it surveyed about 300 organisations in Australia. It was done last October, and it really surveys their opinions and views around productivity and productivity drivers. And it's given us an absolutely fascinating insight into what are the drivers and what senior directors, executives really see about productivity and what are the key drivers of productivity as well. One of the great findings that we found was that people actually have many different definitions of productivity, which is sort of an issue in itself. And it's very different by different organisations, and it's different by different industries. For example, in the services industry, so if you're an accountant, it's very much about billable hours in terms of productivity. But you talk in manufacturing, it's about number of widgets produced per hour or per line. Or if you go into the health industry, it's not necessarily about how many calls you do, it's about the quality of the service provided. So one of the big findings from the research was that productivity is defined in many different ways, but it is critically important to everybody. And that's really also a critical finding as well. Firstly, of the 300 companies we surveyed, it was 83% who said that productivity was critically important to them. In fact, was in their top 5 priorities. So that was a good result. But the worrying thing was that of that 83%, 50% said, hey, I really don't know, I don't have a key target on it, I don't measure it. So that's a real gap. In fact, we call it the productivity gap. So very important, but I don't know how to manage and measure it. So that was the first key finding. The second finding was the companies that really are doing well at productivity tend to be very good at investing in ICT, which was good for us, obviously. But more importantly, probably, we're very good at setting metrics and really good management systems around it. Now, that may sound obvious, but actually is quite an insight, because just investing in technology is not enough. You've got to have good management discipline, set good targets, inspect it, drive it. Otherwise, it's just another bit of technology. So that was a very important finding. But overall, very important. Very important that you manage and measure it. And there were some other findings that was different by industry. Obviously government have different biases in this. Services industry slightly different. Different characteristics of different people and organisations. So there's a lot of other data in the survey, but they were the key findings. ICT investment was seen as the most important driver of productivity, but they're not clear about articulating the value. Now, I want to just put a little bit of a plug in here for Telstra, because remember, we provide technology. That's what we do every day. And one of the most important things for us is really articulating and proving the value. And if you can't have concrete evidence that really says, hey, I invest here, I get a return, and it could be better customer service, it could be driving greater revenue, then it's on what I would say not a strong foundation. So we're spending a lot of time now really understanding what those key drivers, and it works at 3 different levels. It's organisational level, work group level, and individual. So just my use of a mobile phone, does it really improve my productivity? The use of a PDA, use of broadband, and then you take it at a corporate level. And the 4th level is at a national level. There's no question that the market conditions around the world are tough. And so you say, well, what's the impact on the productivity agenda? Look, look, for all of us, we're always looking for better returns, so we're looking at better ways to do things. So the focus on productivity is not going away at all. In fact, I'd say it's heightened. What is changing is, if I'm going to invest dollars, do I really get a return? And one of the fascinating things in the survey itself, we looked at what people said they're investing in 12 months ago and what they're investing in going forward for the next 12 months. And there was quite a significant change. The last 12 months was more about information sharing, a bit more generic, collaboration, these sort of terms that are often used in our industry. The top two priorities in the next 12 months was one about process re-engineering and moving things to be more online. So really, hard metrics, hard business issues that technology can really play a part in. So I think that the opportunity for continued investment is strong, but it will be considered investment. The Telstra Productivity Indicator, now I just want to stress that this is an indicator, not an index. An index implies economics, rigor and data behind. This is an indicator. For us, we're going to continue on this journey of really understanding the drivers of productivity. So this survey will be done every 12 months, and we'll start to get some history about changing perceptions and views around productivity. And hopefully will give us a better insight about how to drive the really key levers around what gives you productivity improvement. So for us, our job every day is about helping people live better, about driving productivity in businesses, and we're just going to keep working to see how we can make that real and not just a nice advertisement. Of course, often we get asked, how's Telstra going in terms of our productivity improvement, because we're going through a big transformation and we're investing a lot of money. Look, it's impressive. I mean, we too are learning. I mean, I don't want to hold us up as we got everything right, but we spend a lot of time now when we invest, what are the returns? And we've got some great examples around field technicians, enabling them with, wireless technology so they turn up on time. And they're great guys. They actually, we're getting them dispatched quicker so they can be there, less reworking. We've got 25% productivity just from that initiative. In the call centres, we're doing, a lot of work to help give better information to the operators, the consultants, so they can serve customers better, spend less time on the phone. So we're really driving it hard. So I think we're right up there, but we can do better too.